Igoni likes transformations. He likes turning his characters into different things.
Yeah.
I haven't read many of his other work, but in another story of his, he transforms, I think, a police officer into a woman or something of another sort. So I like that he continues this idea of the what if something physiologically changes you and puts you in a new circumstance. But if it doesn't move your character's personality or introspective realities, how does that equip me with the knowledge to understand like the challenge?
mean, I thought it was interesting that Furo becomes white, but he's a white man without money, right? Because in the way that you would normally think of a white person is that they have money, but here he is a white guy and he's walking, right? He's not being driven in a Mercedes. He's not, and even when he gets the job and he gets a car, first lady, it's the beat up Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, that's surprising.
That he gets, and not like the newer car.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that was interesting in that. Okay, maybe he's trying to, counterbalance this and say, okay, I'll make this guy white, but I won't give him all the privileges that white men normally enjoy.
But I see how this guy remains Nigerian, right?
Yeah.
Like fundamentally in his in the interiority of his person, like he's Nigerian, right? Like and so it's almost, I think it can be a stretch, right? Like I'm just thinking about like a counter argument. It can be a stretch for us to expect that he's going to like fully inhabit this sudden privilege that his whiteness affords him. Whereas he's like thinking through his Nigerianness and thinking through who he is as a Nigerian person, rather than thinking about himself from the superficial like whiteness.
Yeah,
that's one possibility.
Speaking of the black body, why do you think Igoni chose to keep Furo's ass black?
It's a good question.
It's a good title.
It's a good title, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you think? It's
Your opinion?
Your
thoughts?
Well, I think it's really interesting. First, the ass in an African context is a site and a space of a lot of sexual, social, and cultural significance. So that was one part of it that's very important. But also the ways that it's been detached, removed, exercised from the totality of the black woman's body in particular. That's another layer and piece of it. But when you talked about specifically the way that Simone Manuel's body was spoken of in connection to Michael Phelps, or another prominent Olympic swimmer, I thought back to the ownership, right? And the ability to be and possess a black body that you have control and principle over. And so custodian is probably a really good word to describe it. And so that just brought me back to Igoni, and that brought me back to thinking that perhaps maintaining that part of him as black is what you mean by having someone that is white but still authentically Nigerian, operating in a Nigerian body. That may have been the symbol that allowed him to do that and convey that message throughout the story.
I mean, even like in terms of, and this is probably wrong, but like physiognomy, like just the fact of where the ass is, like is the balance of the body in a sense. So I mean, I can see how that can translate into regardless of what you do, as your body changes into white, you can't escape your blackness. Who you are.
Yeah, this is
who you are.
This
ass is black, you are black.
because even when
does his ass remain black?
It turns out that it just happened.
There's a twist to it, right? He has to hide his
it turns out that this is what happened. The first sentence of that book
Okay.
was that he woke up white.
Right.
In the first draft, that changed later. What did he do next? He hides from his family.
Right.
So I follow this character, he leaves home. Then he gets a job. Then he starts, taking advantage very quickly in the same day of his whiteness. And there was no way I
He
could
falls
let-
into an affair with
He
this
falls
woman.
into, and at that point, up to 3 sentences before I realized his ass was black, I didn't know it was black. I almost discovered it at the same time as he did. So it just happened. And like I said, this book I was writing to, I was just going for a part of me that I didn't understand where these ideas were coming from, and so whatever felt right, I would chuck it in. And then I knew, well, I'll edit it later and what I'll remove, I'll change, but I'll just put, it had to be new, it had to feel, it had to be strange, it had to be enjoyable, I had to have a good laugh writing it, but also engage the things that were, closest to my heart. And in that way, it just happened. Yeah, the Blackass.